right, let's get chatting about the auto companies. For the last 2 months, there has been a slowdown there. The Federation of Automobile Dealers Association, or FADA, has released the monthly vehicle registration data for the month of December 2018. Parikshit Luthra caught up with Ashish Harshraj Kale, the president of FADA, on whether the inventory levels were a concern for passenger vehicles in December. Here are what he had to say.
There was a decline from October to November retail sales, and from November to December that is now maintained at the same level. So there is no further decline in terms of year-on-year numbers. Month on month from November to December it is expected, because November was Diwali season, which is of course one of the peak seasons. Although the season was not as good as we expected, but still the numbers are quite high, and therefore this drop was expected. If you look at our press release, towards the end of December, our members have reported some very good movement in the showrooms and some very good retails. So getting into January, we are hoping that some positive sentiment is returning to the market. But yes, overall, it's not a very healthy picture even today.
What about the inventory levels? When we were talking about this in the first week of December and the last week of November, we were talking about high inventory levels being a cause for concern. What would be the levels right now, and are you still worried about inventory levels? Normally
during the festival season, dealers stock up on inventory, but since the retails did not happen, starting of December our opening inventory was very high. If you would see the numbers being released by all the OEMs, you will see quite a muted growth, or in some cases degrowth in their wholesale billings. As I've said, retails have been fairly well. I won't say they are as per our expectation, but fairly well. So there has been quite a good amount of reduction in inventory levels as far as passenger vehicles is concerned. We are almost close to normalcy. I won't say 100% normal, but definitely much better than what it was at start of December. We are very appreciative of all the passenger vehicle OEMs who have helped us reduce inventory. In two-wheeler, that inventory still remains a big concern.
In your press release, you have highlighted that the inventory levels of two-wheelers continues to be very high. And is this an area that retailers would be concerned about? What would be the level of inventory, if I had to ask you, in terms of the number of weeks?
Yeah, so if we look at an average across the country, inventory is at about 60 days, which is about 8 weeks. Normal inventory for any category is about 1 month of inventory, which is 30 days, which is a very healthy inventory. So if you look at two-wheelers, that still remains pretty high. Passenger vehicles, as I have said, has reduced quite a bit, and we are now almost near the comfortable zone. Same is the case in commercial vehicles. The inventory remains a bit high, but not at alarming levels. Two-wheeler remains to be quite high.
For this month and the rest of the financial year, what would be your outlook, and what do you think are the factors that will really decide the growth in the sector, in the auto sector?
So one thing which we are hopeful and happy about is last 15 days has seen some good retail across all the segments. I think the government is also giving a lot of focus on the NBFC liquidity issue. I think if overall liquidity improves, NBFC liquidity improves, financing gets back to the way it was till September, I'm sure the growth will come back to the industry in this quarter. As I said, in November and December, both months, we've seen very good inquiry level. The problem is in the conversion. So intent of the customer still remains intact. I think we just need a few positive factors coming into the overall economy for the customer to take his decision. We are hoping that this will happen in this quarter.
All right, so that is some commentary coming in. Says the FADA that overall they do not see a healthy picture even today. But keep an eye out on the markets. Looks like yesterday's low had been